Okay, so my name's Sarah, and I actually just graduated from here in the summer from the Biology Specialist Program, and I started my master's this September at Trent University. And I'm just here to tell you a little bit about my personal experiences with field courses at U of T. I did 2 field courses throughout my undergrad. First one I did was in the summer of 2007. This was a summer abroad field course that took me to Ecuador, to the Amazon, the Andes, and the Galapagos for a month. And the other field course I did was through the OUPFB. That was the whales and dolphins in China. And that I did in the summer of 2008. So to begin with is why did I take field courses? Well, to start with, it's kind of pretty obvious. You just plain get to see some pretty cool stuff. But really what most people will tell you is that it gives you a competitive edge for graduate school, and especially now because it's very common for undergraduates to get field experience. But this isn't just in terms of the research experience you're going to get. Really, on field courses, you get to know your professors much better than you would in a classroom setting. And conversely, they also get to know you. And that means that when the time comes, they're going to be able to write you some very good reference letters. They will have seen your work ethic. They will have gotten to know you as a person and will really be able to sell you on your applications. And I would actually argue that having good reference letters is as important, if not more so, than having good marks when it comes to actually impressing somebody. Finally, though, it also makes the future easier. Getting this kind of experience in undergrad just helps to make the transition into graduate school or even a job a lot easier. Being comfortable in the field, being used to dealing with spontaneous situations, it just makes it so that it's one more thing you don't have to worry about. I mean, the transition from undergrad to grad school can be daunting and a little scary, and so just having one aspect that isn't quite as overwhelming and is a little familiar in some aspects is really great. I mean, I certainly wouldn't have the self-esteem or the confidence I have today if I didn't have any of my undergraduate field experiences. The other thing is that field courses can do a lot for your emotional growth. Both learning about and seeing the world at the same time really personalizes the knowledge that you're gaining. And when that happens, you become connected with the world around you. Your surroundings make much more sense. Not only does what you learn become much more memorable, but it makes an impact on you in a way when you can actually see what's going on in front of you instead of having to look through a textbook or a computer screen. So in Ecuador, I could actually see the different soil layers chronicling past volcanic eruptions. I could hold weird fungi in the Amazon rainforest, well, the safe ones anyways. And I could come face to face with biological icons, a marine iguana from the Galapagos Islands. This trip was fantastic for me, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything else in the world. The friendships you make on these courses can also be very special and long-lasting. I felt pretty much on this trip that I'd come to some sort of biological mecca, and I really can't talk about it properly unless it's with someone who is also on the course. That's how powerful these experiences can be and how special they can make your connections to other people. But more importantly, a field course might help you decide what you want to do after you finish your degree here. And on the one case, if perhaps you find the field really isn't your thing, that's just as important as knowing that it is, and you still probably would have learned a lot along the way. But on the other extreme, it might even get you a graduate school opportunity, which is how it was for me when I did a course. I did the OUPFB Module 7 course, which is the whales and dolphins in China. And, well, actually, depending on, this course actually takes place in Taiwan and Hong Kong, and depending on how you sit politically, calling that China may or may not sit well with you. But really, there's something to be said for the OUPFB program. It was already emphasized a little bit at the beginning, but making friends on other campuses and getting to know faculty at other universities is a really invaluable chance. It starts you off networking in the academic world at a very, very early level. But apart from that, something specific might strike you that's not offered by U of T. I'm obsessed with marine mammals, so I was actually shopping for a marine mammal course when I came across this module 2 years ago. Taiwan itself is a very fascinating region. Made some great friends, saw some pretty neat stuff.